By virtue of the powers granted by the Privy Council, the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland is this day holding a congregation for the conferment of degrees. Our ceremony begins with the conferment of an honorary degree. The authority of degree awarding powers resides with the academic board of the Conservatoire, which may confer an honorary degree of doctor upon any person it considers has made a truly outstanding contribution to their profession and whose achievements richly deserve high distinction and recognition. I now invite Lord Valence of Tummel, Chairman of the Board of Governors, to introduce the sponsor for the honorary graduand.
Principal Sharkey, I now invite Hugh Hoggart, Director of Drama, Dance, Production and Screen, to sponsor David Tennant for the degree of Doctor of Drama.
My Lord Chairman, Governors of the Conservatoire, members of the Academic Board, graduands, lords, ladies and gentlemen. In this 400th anniversary year of Shakespeare's death, what could be more appropriate and timely than to honour one of the UK's finest Shakespearean actors? Timely indeed, but not simply because of the anniversary. The time itself, our time, is suddenly and thoroughly out of joint. In fact, it's gone all Shakespearean on us. A divided kingdom, warring factions, the people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers. And in the events of but a few days ago, equivocation, vaulting ambition, betrayal of friendship, political assassination. I mean, who would ever have thought to cast Michael Gove as Macbeth? And then there's the tragical, comical, historical, now pastoral Clown Prince himself, Hal and Falstaff rolled into one, Boris Johnson. The arch-equivocator, simultaneously writing a biography of Shakespeare and leading a successful Brexit campaign when, at one fell Govian swoop, he became the heir apparent, destined never to ascend the throne, quoting Julius Caesar as if he were Burbage playing Hamlet. You couldn't make it up. Who would now dare to say that Shakespeare is no longer relevant, his language too difficult, or his storylines too fanciful? Today on Twitter, there are strong linguistic echoes of the bard's ability to craft a telling insult, with David himself playing a leading online comic role, reading Scotland's responses to Donald Trump. If you haven't seen it yet, get Googling. We are a nation of wordsmiths, it seems, and David has lent us his voice. He generously lent the Conservatoire his voice recently too, recording a speech from A Midsummer Night's Dream for incorporation into our own multidisciplinary celebration of Shakespeare's anniversary, Dream On. But it's not just for Shakespeare that we honour David today. Although this RSC board member has played many leading roles, including most famously and recently Hamlet, Benedict and Richard II. The Guardian described his Richard II as mesmerising and his Dane as a Hamlet of quicksilver intelligence, mimetic vigour and wild humour. Yet under the mad capriciousness, Tennant implies a filial rage and impetuous danger. Nor is it solely for the rest of his stellar acting career, in which he has earned screeds of Best Actor nominations and awards, nor for Harry Potter and Broadchurch, or even his enduring fame as the most popular Doctor Who of all. Not for countless radios, huge numbers of audios and voiceovers, charity broadcasts, talk shows, comedy shows. Not even for the moment when our whole disunited nation cheered as he slam-dunked just a minute at his first attempt. David is universally loved and admired and has achieved a great deal. But I would suggest we admire and now honour him not only for his brilliance and extraordinary success over the last 25 years, but for who he is and how he behaves, for his essential character. And it seems proper as well as timely to so honour him as we observe the carnage wreaked in our political arena by personal ambition, and we sit gazing at the news broadcast, wondering what on earth tomorrow may bring. It's an interesting word, character, meaning both the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual, and of course, a part in a play, an imagined person in a fiction, in a dream of passion. Who would ever have dreamt that the young David MacDonald, born on the 18th of April, 1971, to his parents Helen and Sandy, would have generated quite such a list of achievements and widespread public esteem before the age of 45? Actually, there were clues and characteristics aplenty. In his unwavering childhood determination to become an actor, inspired, incidentally, by his love of Doctor Who, this caused his parents some disquiet. But according to David, as he didn't seem to be much good at anything else, they supported him all the way. In his 7 years commitment to RSAMD Drama Juniors before applying for the big school and the BA Dramatic Studies, and in his application, a recommendation from the rector of Paisley Grammar. Deemed well above average intellectually by the staff who teach him, they also rate him very highly for diligence and reliability. Good health, good home. He is a mature and self-disciplined young man who could well be very successful in his chosen course of study. I guess that's the first time you've heard those, David. In David's own words, I was determined to go to drama school from as early as I can remember being aware that there was such a thing. And I loved it. I went straight from school, so being released from double maths into double movement was just heaven. I made great friends, grew up a lot, and I felt like I was finally doing what I wanted to do. He also says he felt like I was bluffing a lot of the time, and that worried me for years until I realized that that is the natural state of being in this profession. When I asked him what appealed to him about drama in the first place, he said he liked hiding in the security of being someone else. It allows you not to have to admit to your own inadequacies and deficiencies whilst wallowing in and exaggerating other people's. This early feeling of bluffing, or indeed of hiding in the security of being someone else, seems to me to be not so much a sign of weakness or a lack of commitment to the vocation of actor, but rather the natural reaction of someone who is strong enough to admit doubt and clear-sighted enough to recognize the imperfections of the human condition, including his own. Someone, paradoxically, who is not afraid to be authentically himself. At the Academy, his work was recognized to be consistently excellent, and he himself diligent, reliable, and hard-working. As a guest director, I had the personal pleasure of witnessing this at first hand and subsequently working with him early in his professional career. I would contend that as well as his exceptional ability, David's exemplary professionalism and generosity as an artist and as a human being has been the rocket fuel that has propelled him to such heights. It's a high-octane blend, spiced as it is with humility and uncertainty, as well as enriched with determination, moral purpose, and a sense of social responsibility. These latter values he clearly inherited from his upbringing in that good home of his childhood. He has also amazingly found time in such a busy professional career to create, like his beloved parents before him, his own good home with his wife Georgia and their 4 children. As further corroboration of my own view of this man before you, I would like to finish by quoting another graduate of this parish, his friend, actor and writer Alan McHugh. David is one of the good guys. In the 28 years since we met as first-year students at RSAMD, I've never met anyone who has grudged David what he has achieved. This is because David is an honest, generous, dedicated, selfless, hard-working team player. And when he takes these personal qualities into the rehearsal room and on stage, that's what makes him the success he is as a professional, as an actor. Crucially, he also maintains an essential degree of the healthy cynicism needed to stay sane in this business. While he takes his work very, very seriously, David has always had a great sense of humor and endless capacity for silliness. He is very aware that much of what we do on a daily basis is utterly ridiculous. As Kenny Ireland once said, we're still just playing cowboys and Indians and getting paid for it. Oh, and on top of all that, he has natural instinct and talent, which ye cannae teach, says Alan McHugh. For all of the above, and as one of Scotland's finest recent exports who transcends borders and boundaries, exemplifies the spirit of collaboration and community, and wins hearts wherever he goes, it is with great pleasure that I ask the Principal to confer the degree of Doctor of Drama honoris causa upon David Tennant.
David Tennant, by virtue of the powers granted by the Privy Council to the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland to confer an honorary degree of the Conservatoire upon any person it may deem worthy of such distinction, and in the name of the Academic Board, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Drama honoris causa. Thank you. Congratulations. We watch our... Now invite David Tennant to address our graduates.
I don't know what you do with the bonnet and the... It's very nice. Thank you, Hugh, and thank you, Alan, for all your lovely words. I mean, you make me blush. And thank you, Doris, thank you. Everyone's a critic. No, I'm very humbled and rather gobsmacked. I've rather had the breath taken out of me. Thank you for that wonderful performance as well. That was brilliant. I wish I'd seen that before I did Much Ado About Nothing, because that's clearly how you do it. I look forward to seeing you in a full production before too long. It's quite hot being clever, isn't it? As an actor who has managed to join the jobs up reasonably successfully for a number of years, you do often get asked for advice, which I suppose is absolutely understandable in an industry that has no apparent logical career path or sequence of promotion. Those starting out are looking for the map. You're looking for the key that's going to unlock the door to the secret club. The distribution of spoils in the acting profession seems so random, so often unconnected to ability or to merit. And there appears to be no justice. The hardest working are too often overlooked for the careless and the lazy. So I absolutely understand the desire for a nugget of clarity, for something that will cast some light, that will throw a chink of illumination into the murk, because it's scary. It's scary where you all are now. Scary to be entering into a profession that seems illogical. And there must be something you can intuit to give yourself a chance, or an advantage, some hope. So I am often asked for advice, and I almost always don't give any. Because it doesn't make sense. It's horribly unfair. It's impossible to plan your life, murderously difficult to get a mortgage or support a family, and the uncertainty and the insecurity that it feeds you with on a daily basis can sometimes be asphyxiating. And that doesn't go away, I'm afraid. 25 years after I graduated from this place, I still feel like every job I manage to snag is going to be my last one. and that every good review is just a stay of execution, that any day now I'll be tapped on the shoulder by the acting police, told I've been found out and asked to surrender my equity card. And get an equity card, unions, we need them. So in thinking about what I might say today, or to inspire, at the very least inform, the next generation of Scotland's actors, I find myself scrabbling around for a few certainties that I've managed to distill from hawking myself around for the last quarter century. I think I have three. So, in the interest of full disclosure, here they are. Number one, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Some of your classmates will take off in a blaze of glory. They will be courted by agents, by casting directors. They'll be deluged with offers of leading parts, film roles, television series. Their stratospheric rise will leave you feeling lost and insecure. Perhaps more of you will tick along, picking up occasional acting jobs, making ends meet with part-time jobs, not setting the West End ablaze or bothering BAFTA just yet, but you'll feel like you're still in the game, however irregularly. And then some of you will struggle. The phone will not ring. You might be spending more time behind the counter in Starbucks than you are in audition rooms for a wee while. Whatever group you fall into, just keep breathing. Everyone has a different moment. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. But what are you in it for? Do you want to burn brightly for a couple of years and then spend the next 40 wondering where the first-class flights went? Or do you want to still be acting when you're 75, full of stories to bore drama leavers with? It's a marathon, not a sprint. Number two, don't be late, learn your lines, and be nice. Because there are plenty of actors who don't do any of those things, and some of them are very successful, but they don't get asked back. And the second their stock drops, they disappear without trace. The runner that brings you a coffee next week will be running the BBC in 10 years' time. Be nice, be on time, learn your lines. Everything else is forgivable. Number three, if there's anything else you think you can do, then do that. It's not a job for the sane. It's not a job for the equivocal. You'll probably be skint, miserable, and eaten up with jealousy for a large proportion of your time. So if you can, spare yourself all that, be nice to yourself, and do something else. But if you can't, if you really, really have to, then good luck. And I realise I'm striking a slightly pessimistic tone with that last one, but that's what people do. They will try to put you off. It's pragmatic and sensible to do so. I don't apologise for it. But here's the secret. There's another reason people do that, and it's because they're jealous. And I'm jealous too. I'm jealous of you all starting out and beginning your life in this profession that's given me so much joy and so much fulfilment, that has given me a wife and a family, and yes, even eventually a mortgage. It's a wonderful journey that you have ahead of you. Because what a joy, what a privilege it is to tell stories, to thrill people, to move people, to help people understand the world around them, to take people into their dreams and to expand their horizons, to challenge people and to just make the world a wee bit better. So you're here, this is it. You set out today and it's all potential. What larks ahead? It might be a bit shitty from time to time, but it's not like you're qualified to do anything else. So keep breathing. Above all else, enjoy yourselves. Remember, it's all nonsense. And whatever else you do, don't give advice. Thank you very much.